Welcome, everybody, to It Tastes Different. I'm going to need your help with something. I'm going to need you to hit that like and subscribe button for me. Kind of help us out if you like what we're doing so that we can continue to do what we do. Go ahead and like and subscribe and add some comments down below if you want us to check out some few things, Tell us what you want us to review, what you want us to talk about, and we can definitely put some stuff together. And what's on the menu for dessert? We find out the cake is a lie with Battle Royale Gaming. On this episode, we're going to talk about Battle Royale games, what our thoughts are, what we don't like, just an overall general feeling of Battle Royale gaming and where it came from and where it's going and all that good stuff. So let's probably start this one out with Nick. Kind of give us your thoughts on Battle Royale gaming.
For me, Battle Royales are kind of hit or miss. I do like some Battle Royale games, but I really got to be in the mood to play one, and it's not not for very long. I can understand the appeal. I don't know. It's really, I feel like it's a lot of just rinse and repeat of the same type of gameplay. You're just kind of getting thrown into a large map, and you either can die right away or you can last and defeat everybody and become the winner at the end. And I guess if you want to spend your time playing a battle royale and getting to that point where you can be really good at it, that's you can go off and start a Twitch stream and make millions. But for all of us that aren't that great at battle royale or those online shooters, really. I mean, I love to play online shooters, like Battlefield and stuff like that, which I wouldn't really consider a battle royale. I mean, it's kind of the same concept in a sense, but it's more like just these are, not that 100 plus or however many people they have, dropping in. I think 100 for like Fortnite or something like that. Players drop into a big continent or world, and then they all battled it out, and while this smoke or whatever comes and this ring kind of comes in and it kills everybody. And that's pretty much the sense for every battle royale out there. And they all don't use necessarily the ring thing that Fortnite does, where the ring comes into the center of the map, or into a different spot in the map. Some of them, like I think Warzone, they have the ones where they have the kind of a grid pattern where certain portions of the map get sectioned off. They get smoked out by like the gas or whatever gets thrown into them, and you can't be in them anymore. And then again, it's the same concept though, as these squares get taken away, the grid gets taken away, and then you eventually have this small portion that you got to battle it out in and defeat it. So yeah, I mean, the only one for me personally that I've really enjoyed playing and will sometimes go back to on occasion is Apex Legends. I find that one the most fun out of all of them, but I don't find myself playing them that often. They're definitely not a genre that I'm big into, and not one that I really follow. My son loves Fortnite and a lot of battle royales. I feel like a lot of younger gamers tend to like these battle royale games, and some of us older hardcore, long time ago gamers, just really can't find our footing in that type of genre. So, Battle Royale is not really for me. I like some on occasion, but Shane, what do you think, man? What do you think of Battle Royale?
I don't think about Battle Royales, honestly. I've played a lot of them. And not a lot of them, but I played several of them. I don't play them much. Me and you played PUBG, I believe it was. We took first that one time. We had the chicken dinner or whatever the hell it was called. And that was fun. But to get to that point, how many times did we play? How many times did I use severe language because it just felt like everything was cheap? Apex Legends, I do like better, like you. I think the controls are pretty fun on it. I think it's a little more forgiving to players like me. But I don't really get into them. I've tried Fortnite. Can't tolerate Fortnite. There's too much going on for me. Just it is. My son took first place the other night, and I heard him hooting and hollering and screaming, and then he's like, "Dad, I did it!" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, buddy. What'd you do?" And he told me, I'm like, Well, record it so we make millions like you were talking about. um, it's just a genre that it hasn't caught me yet. It There might be one out there I don't know about, or one coming out that might be cool, but none that I've seen right now say, play me, play me, play me. Apex Legend is one I will jump into just to check it out because they do some really cool things, but I still can't get into it, and it might be because I suck at those battle royales. It's just I don't know why it feels so much different than a regular PvP shooter like Call of Duty or Battlefield. Uh, Russ, what about you?
For me, the battle royales really aren't my cup of tea either. Just to kind of, I just want to kind of reiterate what Nick was saying. I think he hit the nail on the head by saying, this is a generational type of game. These things really do kind of suit the younger audience. A lot of the younger audience want to be have a Twitch account. They want to be influencers. They want to be this. I think because of the streaming, the live streaming and stuff, these games really lend to all of that. This kind of competitive, almost a sporting event for that matter, for a lot of people. And that's a big thing there. I think that's a big difference. Just to kind of clarify a little bit, there might be a listener out there that doesn't understand what a battle royale is, and usually that's a 3 to 5 player. Actually, Fortnite, Nick had an event where they dropped 100 people in there. They normally don't do that. They usually stay between 3 and 5 players, like he was saying, a ring or a pushing in of the players to make sure that there is a last man standing or team objective gets set. For myself, I'm more of a MOBA person. I like multiplayer online battle arena games, things like League of Legends, Hero Storm. Those games I do like, but I do not like Battle Royale. I guess if I had to pick one, I did actually kind of like COD a little bit. COD was a lot of fun when we were playing. For me, like the guys will probably say it as well, you get to a certain point in the evening or the session and my eyes are bleeding, my hands are cramping, my stress level is, my watch is telling me I've got 120, heart rate going, and it's like you need to relax because if you go anymore, your heart may explode. But for the most part, I have played Apex. I did try Fortnite. I tried PUBG a little bit. I've tried them all just a little bit, but none of them really are that enjoyable for me. But like I said, I think Nick really hit the nail on the head with the generational thing. But Pat, what do you think, man? What do you got to add?
Yeah, I like that clarification there, Russ. Yeah, because a battle arena is a very defined thing, and it's a fairly recent and new thing. And what I mean by that's last 5-6 years. It's never was really big until like PUBG and the game. I can't remember the other game that came out at the same time as PUBG, but PUBG took off and that one didn't. And now PUBG and Fortnite dominate the market for battle royale games. And yeah, it's just basically a shrinking safe zone that it basically forces players to get closer and closer together so that somebody's ultimately a winner. It's either squad based or free for all type stuff, So, battle royale games have one thing that I don't like in them, and it's PvP. I'm not a big PvP person, so for me, that's why I don't like them. Is because they're not necessarily the quick twitch skills of like a lot of like just first person shooter battle games, But what they do that is kind of intriguing is that they drop you in the game with base or no gear. You have to scrounge for the gear you need. So that's kind of a cool concept. PUBG did that. And so some of the others do. That's kind of an interesting concept, but I played PUBG a few times when it first came out and I was like, what is this? I don't care for this. And so I never went back. I played Fortnite a couple of times. It's just not for me. And I've not played, the other one that you guys were talking about, the Apex Legends. I've not played Apex Legends just because the first few games in this genre didn't do it for me. I was like, meh, I don't care at this point. It's like I don't want to just scrounge. I don't know. Maybe it's because it doesn't feel like there's any progression, and that's what I need in a game. I like progression. I like feeling like what I'm doing matters instead of just being thrown into a field, get some better gear, go in and go fight. with all the people that are in the arena with you, and hopefully you get the chicken dinner, the winner, you're the number one spot. Maybe there is some progression, but I think most of it's just skins so that they can keep the game, from being able to, new players be able to come back in. I mean, Warzone and stuff like that, which is not a battle royale, but it's like a PvP FPS game. You can progress and unlock guns, unlock stuff for your guns, but they still keep it somewhat competitive for multiplayer. So they could do it. I think games like the Battle Royale can. So I am not a Battle Royale fan. I don't like them. I actually don't play them. Like I said, I play PUBG and Fortnite to try to figure out what the whole reason behind people love them is, and I can't figure it out. I can't see how somebody can play Fortnite on their stinking phone. It does not appeal to me, but plenty of people play stuff like that on your phone. I'm like, I don't want to play on my stinking phone. And how do you play on your phone versus somebody with a keyboard and a mouse? They're just do you only play against people on your phone? That type of stuff. So
I think you do. I think it is only the phone v phone.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get into them. Like
still.
I said, this is probably a bad group to talk about Battle Royale. Because I can't play them. I guess maybe you get a nice relaxing evening in the bathtub, you can play a Battle Royale on your phone, right? Till you drop the phone in the tub. So
that's when you know you're a winner.
That's right.
Yeah, I won.
I hope it's plugged in when you do it.
I think for me, I think the thing that I don't like about Battle Royales, thinking about it, is I don't like because most of them are, like you said, Pat, it's either, it's either free for all, so it's single, like you're just going by yourself. Most of them usually have set up and, some of them might have 3-player, but it's usually like a squad, which is 4 players, and then couples or duo, which is 2 players, and then free for all, which is just everyone against themselves. And I think the thing I don't like about it is, most of the time, again, we're not big into Battle Royale. So if I do play a Battle Royale, it's usually by myself, and I don't like to play with randoms. I just never been that way in any type of game. And yeah, I don't like those in any types of games. So having a game like, I think the thing I don't like about it is when you get thrown in there and you die, that's it, right? And then you have to start over again. I like, the things I like about Battlefield with like, those types of multiplayer or competitive multiplayers like that, or even Call of Duty, just the multiplayer portion, not the Warzone, but the multiplayer, just, multiplayer, is that, you respawn and you can try again. And it's a match is timed, or it's based on score, or based on deaths, or various things like that, right? Whereas this is just one shot and you're done.
Yeah, that's what defines the two games kind of too, is the Royale versus an like a multiplayer online game, is that you have that respawn in the multiplayer online versus the Battle Royale, which you're sitting there and if, those matches could last like 15, 20 minutes and you're dead that whole time. It's, yeah, go ahead, Nick. I apologize.
Normally when you die, that's a defining thing for the genre. That we forgot about that, Nick, is that when you die, you're out. The game's over, and then it throws you back in the lobby so you can go find another one.
Yeah. Now Warzone did come up with an interesting idea for that, because that is a complaint I think everybody has. When you die in Warzone, they put you in the gulag, and you have a chance to come back if you kill the other person they team up against you in the gulag, which is kind of cool.
Right.
But then your team can try to purchase your butt out as well. Which I don't think we ever did.
In Apex Legends,
we played Warzone.
Yeah, and in Warzone, that exactly the point, Shane, that I was going to make too. The one thing that Warzone did that's kind of nice for a Battle Royale is the gulag thing, where you do have a chance to come back, and if you still don't make it, your team can get enough money to bring you back at certain respawn points. And Apex Legends has that same concept, right? Now in Apex Legends you can go down, and then when you go down, someone can revive you. In Fortnite's the same way. Well, once you die in Apex Legends, you can bring your other squad member back at certain respawn places. If you have enough points or whatever, you can bring them back in. So Now, Apex Legends doesn't have like the gulag or anything where you can kind of fight your way back on your own, but it has that same concept. Whereas Fortnite doesn't have that. Once you're down, if you're with a teammate and they don't revive you, it's done and over with. So those two games have kind of made some strides in that kind of respawn type of thing, but I think essentially that's the thing I don't like about it is like, because there's several times where you could just parachute in or while you're coming in, get shot out of the air, or as soon as you hit the ground, someone shotguns you in the face and it's over. And you spend all that time loading in and waiting for the plane to fly over and waiting for the place where you were like, oh, I want to jump here. And you jump out of the plane and you get all the way to the ground and someone's like, bam. And you're like, cool, that was fun. Back to the lobby now.
Right, yeah, one of those luck of the draws where they land pretty close to a weapon or something. They got a gun and they just shoot you as you land because they happen to find the building with the chest or lootable items in there. Yeah, it's a game of chance too, because if you could land in a spot where you get a good weapon and good armor right off the bat, which is going to give you a leg up on the person who lands in an area, and all they find is a melee weapon, or they find a crappy gun that's maybe they're just not very good with, or they find a shotgun and they have to get up close on you, whether you got a rifle and you can hit them halfway across the map. Plus, one of the things about Battle Royales, and it's one of the more reasons why I dislike PvP in general, is because they're toxic communities. If you happen to get in a squad with people who are hardcore, and I'm using air quotes because they're still just general gamers, they're not a pro team, they get mad because you can't play on their level and you're just trying to learn the game. And that's what gets to me about PvP games. You're like, I just want to play, learn to play it. But a lot of these online multiplayer games like that have toxic communities where they're just like, they're horrible to play because they don't play well and they don't tend well for new players or casual players, or maybe less than casual. Maybe you just want to do a drop-in game, 1 or 2 games a week or something like that. They don't lend to players like that. So you have to be constantly in those games to stay competitive and to learn those games, because every time I pick up one of those games, I spend the first hour or two just trying to learn how to play the game. And the whole time I'm bringing my team down, or I'm bringing the people I'm playing with down, because I'm getting the most deaths or I'm getting out pretty quick, which doesn't give me time to play or learn those games. So I tend not to go to those. When Russ talked about battle arena games, and the only reason I actually played a battle arena game was because of Russ. Russ got me into League of Legends, and it was only because Russ was there to teach me how to play the game, and we played the game together. And we found good combos that worked well together that we played for so long. Russ played ranked. I never would play ranked because of everybody knows if you're talking about toxic community, Riot Games toxic community. That was, that was one of the most toxic communities ever in a game. But that's one of my biggest problems is it's PvP and it's not very forgiving PvP. Just as Nick said, one death, you're out. You wasted all that time waiting in the lobby for you to get enough players to play, and then you load in and you die within the first 15 minutes or 10 minutes or 5 minutes, if you're very unlucky. So I don't tend to play well with those games. And the only time I ever do play games like that is when you all say, hey, let's play this, like Warzone. I forgot that we played Warzone. We played a little bit together, and I think we played maybe 2 matches, and I'm like, I'm done, so...
Well, that was definitely rough for all of us when we played Warzone that night, because me and Nick, we played it a few times on our own. So, and you guys had no experience. It is definitely hard to learn a game like that, especially when they don't. And I don't remember PUBG or Warzone or any of them that we played where they give you a good training on how things work. The first time I jumped in PUBG, Nick had to basically hold my hand across the map and explain, all right, well, you got to grab this. Then you got to grab, you can't grab that. If you grab that, it doesn't do no good, blah, 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 blah. And I think that's the biggest problem with any game of this type, whether it be a Royale or just a regular PvP Call of Duty type game. There's no real training to teach you the little things that, make you better. That's why when we played Rainbow Six, we're really good against bots, but there's things that it doesn't teach you for real, competitive gameplay. And you're definitely right, Pat, about the toxicity. When we did our toxicity in gaming, we talked pretty heavy in depth about these types of games and the type of people that bring in. I stopped playing with a few people that I met years ago because they were getting to where they just yell and scream and cuss at everybody around, at themselves as well. I don't want that. I am here to be stupid, have fun, make jokes, and just have a good time. That's all I want from my games. Even when I'm being competitive, like when we were playing Call of Duty, when we were reviewing it, we all played multiplayer. We all did relatively well, but I dang sure know that if we'd came out of that party chat, there was going to be somebody in our squad to just losing their crap. And I don't want that. Pat don't want that. Russ don't want that. Nick don't want that. That's why I like to play multiplayer. I like to play PvP. I only want to play it with people I know, even if we suck. I would rather have a sucky friend that plays this than somebody I just cannot tolerate yelling and screaming racist crap.
Well, I think like Patrick kind of hit something on the head there too. Again, nobody when we play a game like this, we don't go in to be the first blood. And if you're first blood, you might as well forget it because you're going to get hazed the rest of the match. It doesn't matter what you're playing. If you cause the first blood, then you are pretty much done within that game that you're playing with a group of people. That's what's so bad about PvP, unfortunately. I mean, you could have anything happen. You could have your computer glitch for a second. You could have something happen. I mean, you could be a newbie, who knows? But in the end, it's just so frustrating that when that happens, then you're already a martyr for the rest of the game. And so that's why I think we stay away from it for the most part. I mean, half of what I try to do is I try to make sure I stay alive for at least the first 3 to 5 minutes, even if I'm hiding in a corner or something, just at least to get kind of the feel of what's going on around me. But I mean, I think we've hit on the high points of why we don't like these games. I mean, we used to love games like Counter-Strike. I did play some MOBAs that were ranked. I did play some competitive Counter-Strike back in the day and stuff like that. But again, only to an extent, because it gets to a point where either my hands are cramping or my heart rate's up, or again, you have like 4 or 5 matches in a row that are just done. So it's like an acquired taste. Like I think due to my age, due to my gaming style now, I definitely don't go back to those very often because I mean, I want to enjoy my experience, not be so stressed out that I need to take more time off, just to get back to wanting to play games again.
Right.
Yeah.
As Shane said, we don't ever join the party chat. We join our group chat, our party chat in whatever game we play, but we don't join the main game chat because it's always full of just somebody screaming at somebody, yelling. It's just, I don't know. It's all just poor sportsmanship. People who just don't. People are trying to be competitive that aren't in a competitive team. In my opinion, if you're trying to train with your competitive team, you're going to be playing with your team in a controlled environment, meaning that you and your squad are joining games, playing against all of us, But if you're joining the game as a single person, hoping that you're going to become a pro, that's just not usually how those guys become pros. They usually work as a group, they train as a group, but the games are full of people like that who think they're pro. And when you screw up their flow or rhythm, they're just going to bite your head off. And it's like, I don't want to, I'm just here to have fun.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah. And the battle royales, and now don't get us wrong, though. We've all run into this. We've all encountered this, but we know there's good people out there too that I've ran into many cool person. I've got friends for years on Xbox Live and stuff that I play with randomly because they're good people. They're fun to play with. Even if I'm just awful at whatever it is we're playing, I'm not going to get razzed in a way that's going to make me, feel like crap about myself and never pick up the controller. When we razz each other because we're friends. And battle royales are really, they're rough. I played a couple of them and there was good people in there, but there was a lot of crap too I didn't want to hear. And that sucks because if you want to play with good people, you help them become good. Don't treat them like crap. Plain and simple.
Right. Yep, teach them the ropes of the game. Don't
Yeah.
don't browbeat them because they made a mistake and they died to an easy whatever. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, and then and now that everything is going like crossplay, it makes it even
Yeah.
worse. And what I mean by that is, I don't care who you are. You can even be a pro. There's an advantage with a keyboard and mouse that a controller just doesn't have. Don't care. Don't care what you say. I can take this and I can tweak this to where the slightest movement will move my cursor all the way across the screen. You're not getting your stick to that sensitivity, you know? So you're playing against people who have, who have a leg up if you're on the console playing against PC. Plus, PC also has macros. You don't have macros on a console. You don't have things like that. Just quick swapping out of guns, quick swapping of this, doing that and this. Um, they have their they have their they have their one up and like, so we play a lot of stuff on console, but we do play a lot of stuff on PC as well. But it's just, I don't know, it's becoming super toxic, and the only way I think that they're going to get away from that is you have to eliminate chat and you have to eliminate audio chat, because then you can't hear the other person on the other side, which is how we play. We play in our own little party chat. We didn't join the game audio, and so that way you don't hear the people ragging on you or cussing or some 4-year-old who's screaming bloody murder or whatever they're doing to play this game. You're thinking, where are your parents the whole time you're playing this game? Or or you get that 7-year-old who's just wrecking everybody, who should be a pro, but they're only 7. They're carrying their whole team. And then you have these 30-year-old people who think they're pros and they're barely holding the middle ground on the game.
No.
So it's,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't fault anybody for the way they play, and I'm not going to get mad at somebody because our whole team is losing. I'm like, I'm either having fun or I'm not. If I'm dying a whole lot, I'm not having a whole lot of fun, but I'm also, if we're hanging out as a group, it's a little bit more tolerable, and I can usually die because then I can laugh at you guys dying the same way. So
Yeah. I know we've kind of got off the Battle Royale talk with this. And before we get back to it, I do want to point out, we do play in party chat when we play online. Like Pat was saying, we don't want to hear the whines and cries, but that also limits us as well, because we're not hearing the 2 other team members, trying to coordinate if they're good people. So that can be a hindrance as well. And that's something I think we should try to break out of some. We'll go into a regular game chat. If we hear something, we just go back to party, because we might run into some cool people. You never know. But to get back to the Battle Royale part of what this talk's supposed to be, Battle Royale is a game that just, it's not a fancy tickle for any of us. It's something we can all probably jump in and goof off with a little bit, but there's nothing in Fortnite, for instance, that entices me whatsoever. Call of Duty is better. Call of Duty is something I've grown up with, though, so it's a little fresher to the brain. Apex Legends I liked because it was just different. Not a whole lot, but it was different. I would like to see battle royales go a little more friendly, with some training stuff, and maybe some like private match stuff that you and your friends can all get into and play with. And I think that would help the overall community of battle royale games too. What do you think, Russ? If you were offered a way to play with some buddies, and train and stuff on how these games work, you'd be a little more inclined to try them out, wouldn't you?
I mean, I might try it out just because you guys would want to try it out, but really the battle royales that are out minus COD, I mean, really don't interest me. I like a good first person shooter, but I don't like it in this format. It's just not appealing to me. I mean, I'd try it with you guys. I mean, we played Siege and stuff like that, together as a whole. I mean, that's not really a battle royale, but still we played games of that nature that we play together. That's fun. But for me, I don't, they're just not very appealing in general. Like Patrick says, there's no progression really with these games. I mean, you can get more stuff, but it doesn't improve your character's ability. So, I mean, that's where I would falter.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right there as far as Pat's feeling on it. Pat, would you consider more multiplayer like that if there was any incentives that progressed your character that actually gave you, because you can't really give you get a tank when you come into the game now, and everybody else is running around with frying pans. But would that be something that probably entice you a little more?
Nah, on this game genre, probably not, because I will say I played a good chunk of the games that are in here, and I'm just not interested in it. The only one that I actually have a little bit of interest in playing, but I just never played it because it's you need a squad of three. Is That's Apex Legends. I never played it, but that's the only one that kind of looked interesting to me because it has different classes, if you will. It's a class based game, whereas the other ones are more they're the same. Everybody's the same, there's no, you know, if you will, there's no rock, paper, scissors where this class is good against this one, but he's weak against this one. There's nothing like that in most of these battle royales. But Apex Legends kind of seems like it's a little bit different. It's more like what's the game I'm trying to think of with the gorilla and all that stuff? I mean,
Overwatch.
Overwatch. Yeah, it
Yep.
has like characters with different abilities, and that's the only one that ever seemed appealing to me. But I gotta have two friends to play with because I don't want to play with randos. I don't like doing pickup games with people that I've never played games with because I'm learning, and it feels like every time you're playing with a group like that, if you're the one dying, they're just getting pissed off at you. And it's like, dude, I'm trying to learn, trying to figure out how to play. So I'm not interested in it because of that aspect. I don't know how you would learn. I guess the only way I can equate it to maybe if it was built more like League of Legends, where League of Legends had a learning environment. And what their learning environments is it was players versus AI. So you can run a group of players and a group of AI against each other, or you can play by yourself. You can be the only person in an entire AI match, so you can learn how to play a specific character. But these games don't have anything like that, so there's no way really. Maybe that would be the only way I could get into it is if there was some type of learning arena type stuff. You know, and like I said, League of Legends did that. Um, you can do you versus bots or AI, but League of Legends also did something I thought was also kind of cool, which other games should do, especially in the battle arena, was the ARAMs, which it was just a random character that you own, so that everybody's kind of on the same playing field, where everybody just gets a random character and they have to go in and fight it out with a random character that they either play a lot or they don't know how to play. But like I said, with PUBG and Fortnite, there is no difference in classes and characters. You're all the same character. You all the same abilities. You just got to find the guns and weapons, and so it's luck of the draw, luck of the chance that you happen to get the good stuff. So that's why it's not for me. But from what I understand, Apex Legends is not like that. You're a set character with set abilities and stuff like that. So I might enjoy that one a little bit more if I get to play it.
Nick, you play everything. So, what would make you more want to play these types of games? Is there anything that you would change to make you go, all right, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get into this one now.
The only thing that I can think of, which wouldn't be feasible, is player progression. They can't do that in a battle royale. I mean, there's a reason why you have that clean slate. They can't give, like you said, they can't give you a tank and everyone else has frying pans because that just doesn't make it fair. So they have to give you a blank slate, basically. It doesn't matter in Call of Duty or in Fortnite, you have a blank slate. The nice thing about Apex, which was Patrick was talking about, and that's probably the reason why out of all the battle royales, I like Apex the most, is because you do have those different classes that do have different abilities, kind of like Overwatch, where you have one person that can make you have that one lady that can make the teleportation rings that you can go through. You have the ones that can has the grappling hooks or the zip lines that they can make and stuff like that. It's still the same concept where you're getting brought in, you have to find guns and stuff, but you're depending on what class you choose, you have different abilities on that class, and I think I like that aspect of it. Out of all the battle royales, that's the one I played the most. And I think I bought a few of the, every battle royale has a battle pass, right? Where you can basically, as you level up, you can unlock certain things like bonus XP or skins and various things like that. And Apex Legends was definitely one I probably bought at least 2 or 3 battle passes because I played it quite a bit because I did enjoy Apex as far as all the other ones. But still, like every battle royale, it just doesn't keep my interest that long. Like even Apex, I can play for maybe a week or a couple days or a few days or so, and then I'm pretty much done with it. And probably won't go back for another who knows how long. So for me, I don't think, besides player progression, not skins and stuff, like actual like unlocking stuff to make my character stronger or have better gear, which can't be in a battle royale because then that takes away the whole point of a battle royale. So really, there's nothing that would get me to really turn around and be like, "Wow, I really want to check this out," or "Yeah, that now I'm into those." So yeah, it's unfortunate. It's got its audience though. Those games are doing really well. I really wish Fortnite and PUBG and Apex and Call of Duty Warzone are pretty much the 4 big battle royales, and it's really hard for a company, a developer, to get the battle royale off the ground and have a community, right? When I remember when Apex came out and when Warzone came out, because Fortnite and PUBG were the 2 big ones, and it's like, how are they going to survive? And they did, but there was a lot of them that died, right? And there's other battle royales out there, yes, but they don't have quite the audience as those 4 have. Those 4 are talked about all the time. I mean, how often do you hear about other battle royale games like I don't know, there's one called like Ring of Elysium. Like I've heard that game, but I don't ever hear about it.
Well, yeah,
So,
and I didn't know until I was doing research for the cast that Fallout 76 has a built-in nuclear winter version that's battle royale, and I'm like, I didn't know Fallout 76 had a battle royale version of the game, but it's not what I look for in those type of games, and I would agree with you, Nick. I mean, it's and they all got one thing going for them: they're accessible for the masses because they're free.
Yep.
They are free to play. Every one of the big ones are free to play. And the only thing how they make their money is off skins. I mean, that's how they make their money. People want to buy those coins so they can get the cool skin or the cool whatever. And that's how those games make their money. That's all free to play. I mean, out of the big 4, the only one that's not free to play is PUBG. I get to buy PUBG still, but Fortnite Battle Royale is free. Warzone is free. Is Apex Legends? I think Apex Legends is free.
Yeah.
They're all free to play because they make their money by saying, hey, wouldn't you like this cool skin? Don't you want to look like Wolverine? Don't you want to look like this guy? Don't you want to look like Daryl from The Walking Dead? Buy this skin, so that you can look like your favorite characters. And that's how they make their money. And that's kind of the reason that Russ and I got into Battle Arena games back in the day, was because League of Legends was free. And I could unlock every character by the amount of time that I put in the game. And eventually I played enough of it that I was like, yeah, these guys deserve some of my money. So I bought character packs, and I started buying character packs. But I unlocked a lot of free characters too, because the amount of time you put in the game, you earn in-game currency that you can spend on skins and characters and stuff. So I bought a lot of characters. Russ and I played a lot. I mean, I think we played Volley and Lux combo quite often, or I'd always play Volley and Russ would pick another character, but we played a lot of that. Volley was always my favorite,
Darius.
Yeah, Darius, Volley and Darius. But yeah, so I mean, so I'd buy Volley skins and stuff like that, and Russ would buy Darius skins. So we played a lot of games like that, and they make their money with skins, or additional character unlocks. I don't know how Apex Legends works. I'm assuming all the characters are open in Apex Legends and you just buy skins, right? Is that how Apex Legends works?
No. You buy
okay.
skins. So all the main ones are open. All the newer ones that they introduce are behind a paywall. So you have to buy them. You buy them all.
They do it similar to Rainbow, I believe.
Do you have to buy it, or can you
pay them, and then they release them free a year later?
Can you earn in-game currency to buy them?
You can earn in-game currency. It would just take forever to get there.
Right,
Kind of like it is the kind of the same thing with Shane was saying, like Rainbow Six. You can buy operators in Rainbow Six, but it'd take you like 5 years to get there. This is the same way in Apex. But it's also the same way in where it's a la carte. Of course, you can't try that. I wish they had, and they may, and I haven't played it in a long time, so I don't know. I wish Apex had a thing where you could like do a training thing where you could basically pick one of the new ones that was locked, just to try out their abilities and stuff and see if you like it. Because then you'd be like, oh, okay, I like this guy. Yeah, maybe I'll buy him. Instead of just buying him, like, man, I hope this is a good one. And Rainbow's the same way. You kind of look at the operators. I'm like, is that a good operator? I don't know. And then you pick him, and you're like, this guy sucks. I just spent all those coins on this stupid operator that I don't like. So I wish those games had something like that, but they don't.
League of Legends had the free weeks, so they would introduce like characters. You would have like a couple of characters every week that are free to play, and it'd be free for that week, so you can try them out, and then it would cycle in new ones so that you could get in there and try. And that's probably what games like that need, is a cycle in. Maybe I'll give Apex Legends a try. I don't know. It sounds kind of like what I'm looking for in that
I'll play
type
it with
of game. Cool. But that's kind of what I maybe need to try that out. Nick, do you play it on PC or do you play it on the Xbox?
Whichever one you want to play it on.
Because you own it on every platform. Well, I guess it's free. So
I've played it on
so,
both.
yeah.
So
He plays it in
I
the
think
bubble
when
bath.
I played it the most, I actually played it on PC actually the most, I believe.
Yeah.
But because for some reason on the Xbox, with me and this is going going off to the side here. But for me, like when it comes to FPS games, there's some games where I'm really good with a keyboard and mouse, or it's the opposite. I'm really good with a controller and I suck with the keyboard and mouse. Right? I mean, like there's certain games like Battlefield. I'm awesome with a controller. I play that game with a keyboard and mouse. I am the worst person on your team. I can't shoot the broadside of a barn, But I'll play something else like Apex, and I'm great with the keyboard and mouse. But I play with the controller, and I'm not that great. So it's really weird. Like certain games just work for me with keyboard and mouse, especially for first-person shooters that are competitive, and vice versa with a controller.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah.
So that might be one that I could get into just because it reminds me more that it's like League of Legends, because I enjoyed League of Legends, but like I said, I didn't play ranked matches. Russ played ranked. I didn't because of the toxicity in the community, but I didn't play. The closest thing I ever got to ranked matches was ARAMs. Outside of that, I didn't play those. But maybe something like this with different character and classes, I might be able to play.
No.
But even the ARAMs and stuff like that, the ARAMs were like, we'd have to pace ourselves. I mean, if we had a really good night, we might be able to play for 3-4 hours. But mostly, it's like something like before dinner, and then after dinner, we're playing WoW or whatever we're playing, whatever MMO we're playing at that time. It's like a quick match or something like that.
Yeah, the battle arenas seem to be a little bit easier because you could, like you said, we could do AI, us versus AI, or we could do co-op versus AI. And I will even admit, during co-op versus AI, some of those people are just jerk-offs and that type of stuff. Like you can't jungle with Volley. Dude, let me do whatever I want. It's us versus freaking bots.
Yeah. One thing I would like to see, instead of this whole Battle Royale thing coming about with the technology, you get more and more players. So, you're seeing 100 players on a map. I would rather see just a large scale warfare thing, 50 on 50, fighting over turf or something, than a Battle Royale setup. I mean, I've always wanted like Battlefield, 50 players on one side, 50 on the other, just tanks and planes and all that crap. That's what I would rather see with, instead of 100 people just fighting for one little
right. But you already had that. Yeah, Battlefield.
Well,
Yeah,
Battlefield
Battlefront
doesn't give you quite that large scale.
Dude, what was the original? Wasn't the original Battlefield's like 50 versus 50 and you could take over territories? I mean, the last ones were huge, like Midway and all those.
Yeah, but they're not 50. There's a 25s, I believe. There might be 50 on PC. I might be wrong. But I would rather see something like that than, the way the Battle Royale set up.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, that's my only complaint with Battle Royales is that it's everybody's the same. And Nick was saying, in my opinion, the only way that you could do progression is if you did like what all the Battle Arena games did. You're ranked. If you want to play competitive, you play rank and you go up the rank scale. But then you would have to handicap those people if they played against lower ranks. Like lower ranks take less damage from the higher ranks so they can compete. That would be something you could do, in my opinion, if they wanted to do that. But because then you could progress and still play with either lower level players or, that didn't necessarily have all the abilities. Because I was trying to think of a game that did that. Oh, I don't know why I drew a blank. WoW. They like they don't have MOBA. They don't have like battle royales, but they have PvP, and you can play PvP with a 60 versus a 20. They always did all the time. They just ranked you down to that level. They either ranked you down or ranked you up. Games back in the day like City Heroes did it. They ranked everybody to the same level when you battled against each other. So all the PvP, if you did a low level rank, you could just sidekick, or if you brought in a lower level person, you could sidekick them, which brings their rank up to your rank, so they could compete, if you will.
Neverwinter did that as well.
Yeah, lots of games do that. It's just battle royales. They found their niche to make lots of money with the least amount of effort, because you play on the map shrinks, you move in closer, you kill each other. It's the least amount of I don't want to sound like I'm trying to knock it, but it's just there's not as much development time in a game like PUBG or Fortnite as there is in like a Call of Duty game where there's story and there's maps and stuff like that are a little bit different.
Well,
or even a storytelling game. There's less development in that,
well,
but yet
Fortnite,
they're probably raking in more money than like a Bethesda game or a Mass Effect game or a story-driven game. They're raking in more money than those guys, and they have less development into it than those guys do.
Yeah, well, at least Fortnite does try to mix around things, because it seems like, and I don't play them, so I may be misspeaking here, but they'll do events where you find certain things on the map while you're trying to play the regular version of the game, character stuff, events where the map explodes and then everybody's on a whole brand new map. At least they're trying to mix them up. The others, they just, here's a new map, same other crap, but it's just a new map. That's what you get.
Well, at least they're not double dipping, like I would say, like EA does with a lot of their Call of Duty games. You got to buy the game. Plus, if you want this cool skin, you got to buy the money or earn the currency in the long run. At least most of the Battle Royale games are free, and they're making their money off of their item shop, Whereas EA or some of these other companies, Rainbow Six and all those guys, they make you buy the game and they have a loot shop. They have an item shop, and so they're double dipping, and that gets on my nerves. That games like that. So I absolutely refuse to buy anything from an item shop for a game that I have to purchase. They can kiss my, I'm not buying it. And that drives me nuts. But at least battle royales, most of them are free. It has PUBG gone free. Can you play PUBG free now?
I don't believe so. I believe you still have to purchase it.
And they have the item shop in PUBG, don't they?
They have a cosmetic store, yeah. I don't think it's as... I mean, you can earn... PUBG, well, when I played it back then, PUBG was a little bit more forgiving on the points it gave you to unlock cosmetics. After a few or so matches, you would have enough to unlock like one thing, right? But I think it did go up, and I think the boxes do go up in price as you purchase them. So, it would get to the point where it takes longer and longer to buy boxes. And then theirs were, if I remember right, theirs were random. So you would buy like a box and a random piece of cosmetic would come out of it, like a random shirt or random pair of tennis shoes or something.
So true loot boxes. They took the EA model, huh?
Yeah. And if I remember right though, if you got something that was a duplicate, you could cash it in for points.
The same amount of points that you spent?
I don't think so. I think it's like half your points back or something like that.
I think you could scrap all of it. I think you could scrap anything you got, honestly.
Yeah, you could. You could scrap it, anything you got, but
to get more
that took care of duplicates, in case you got a duplicate pair of sneakers. But I mean, again, there's no point in it, right? Same thing with Fortnite. There's no point in, my son talks about wanting V-Bucks so they can buy a new skin, and I'm like, why? What does it matter? You're still the same character. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Well, I don't want to wear the default outfit. I'm like, why not? because the default habit is you're a noob, you're new to the game, and it's like it doesn't matter though. It doesn't. You can go in and buy $50 worth of skins and still be new at the game. It doesn't matter what your character looks like. Plus, I mean, it is in third person, so you can see your character, but no one else is going to see it. They're going to see it long enough to kill you, and that's it. So
That's what I was getting ready to say. So
Yeah.
Fortnite is third person. PUBG is first or third, right? I think.
yeah,
So,
Yeah.
that's funny. That's even funnier. And even what's even funnier is I was just reading earlier that Apex Legends is first person. So, I guess there's if you get a skin for that, you don't even get to see it. So, what makes it worse
Apex
if
Legends first person.
so if it's a first person, it really makes no difference because you can't see the crap anyway. But third
Yeah.
person, I guess, makes some sense. But yeah, it's the same thing. I don't get it. But more power to them because they have a free to play model that makes them money. So
Well-
and I am all for that as long as you're not double dipping.
Well,
Yeah, well-
I'm trying to get in here before we get too far off the subject. I don't mean to interrupt, but golly, you guys, yada yada yada. Think about this. What was the highest selling game last year? What would be y'all's guess?
Fortnite.
Yeah, I say Fortnite.
No, I'm saying game. Non
Fortnite is a
battle
game.
royale game. non
Well,
Grand
that's going
Theft
to be
Auto.
probably the Last of Us 2 Part 2 or Ghost of Tsushima.
This one
That's a-
always surprises. This one always surprises us because we always forget this game because it's a worldwide game.
Grand Theft
FIFA.
Auto. FIFA.
FIFA, yep, FIFA.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
so
the sports game. I always forget because the
we
sports
always
game,
forget. Yeah,
people that don't play video games play sports games.
exactly. So that they made what 1.08 billion off of that game. Okay, Fortnite had a down year last year and made 1.8 billion. The year before that, they made 2.5 billion. So, like, these games are highly profitable. So why are they going to quit? I mean, just to put that in perspective, like Cyberpunk made 609 million.
Right, yeah.
eh,
But I mean, games that have like you were saying, Russ. I mean, that's a perfect example. I mean, but FIFA also, what FIFA does? FIFA double dips.
Yep.
FIFA allows you to buy the
Yep.
game, and in my opinion, that's the epitome of a shitty company, for lack of a better word. They prey on their fan base. They're like, hey, buy our $60 game and soon to be $70 because we know how those game developers are. $70 game. Oh, and you want that? You want the old school jersey, the old school uniform they used to be? You need to buy this $20 pack for a chance to get it, or you could spend $30 and you'll get guaranteed to get it. Companies like that are just a disgrace to the
Well,
gaming industry.
on
So-
games,
Again, you're
on
talking
games
ab-
like that.
Yeah.
On games like that, even like basketball and those games, you can actually spend real money in your career mode to up your player quicker. So instead of running through the career mode, i.e., like like making it's like
increasing the stats of the player.
Yeah, you increase the stats of your player by using those V chips or whatever they call them now. I don't know what they call them, but I mean, I knew a kid, like he would literally spend like $100 a paycheck just to, get the new jerseys, to get their player up to get out of the street ball level or whatever. I can't remember what it was called, but it's crazy. It's insane.
And I mean, you guys literally just described, and it was definitely the games of EA. EA is a terrible, terrible, greedy company, and they are what hurts the gaming industry. Companies like that.
Well, it's companies like that and people like
Paying
that.
for it.
That people because people buy it.
Yeah.
If it didn't work, then they wouldn't do it. If
Tell
people
your kids
wouldn't
no.
if people wouldn't spend the $70 on a game and then turn around and spend another $100 on extra junk, jerseys, tennis shoes, logos, colors, whatever, then they wouldn't be able to do it. But EA puts out every game. Everybody's getting behind this, but a $60 base game and a $70 deluxe or a $75 or $80 deluxe and a $100 collector's edition, and all you get is crappy
Skins
cosmetic
or-
pieces. cosmetic pieces for the game. That's all you ever get, especially on a competitive game. Like, you get people that make you don't look like the noob anymore, I guess. I don't know. Instead, you look like the guy who spent $100 on a $60 game,
Yeah. And it's that, but you're right. It's the same thing with these scalpers on the PlayStations and Xboxes. They wouldn't do it if people wouldn't pay them.
Right, exactly. But Battle Royale, in my opinion, it's, hey, they're a free-to-play model. The majority of them have a free-to-play model. And if you want to spend money, you can. If not, you can earn the other characters. You just have to spend, or other stuff. You just have to play an exorbitant amount of time, which, hey, free-to-play game, I am fine with that because you can decide to put money in it or not. I mean, you can do that with a pay-to-play game too, but in my opinion, that's just double dipping and sometimes triple dipping, as Russ said, that you can pay real-life money so that your player on your team has higher stats instead of waiting for them to go into the gym and work out. You're just be like, I'm going to throw some money at it. I'm going to buy that guy some roids, so he's going to be out of the gym twice as quick, So you're being the bad manager at that point of that sports team. But that's, Battle Royale is just not for me. I may try Apex Legends if we get in there as a group because it's a 3v3 type thing, so that'd be kind of cool. And it has classes, so that's the only way that I'm going to get into something like this.
Yep, I think it's a game that we could play together, but we'll probably never play apart. I mean, me and Nick might jump on something once, twice here and there, but that's about it. Oh, and I'm sorry about my shirt. If you look careful, though, you will see those sailboats.
I don't see the sailboat.
Smash.
All right. So, I mean, I don't know. We could probably beat that model to death. We could beat that model with a stick over and over and over. But like I said, it's working because the big four make money hand over fist for a free game. I guess PUBG's not free, but the other three are free. The other big three, Fortnite, Warzone, and Legends are free to play, and you buy currency to buy skins and stuff with it. So, I would say this is probably a bad group to review in Battle Royale games because we don't have a Battle Royale fan amongst us, but we all have plenty of friends who love the genre and play quite a bit. Anybody else want to jump in on this one before we beat that horse with the stick some more?
I just want to say Halo and Battlefield, you don't need Battle Royale. I mean, everybody's saying you're going to do it. You don't need it. If you're going to do a new multiplayer for your game, do something new and different, something fun that, maybe nobody's thought of yet. I'd rather see that.
All right. Nick, Russ, you guys got any parting words?
I may download League of Legends after we're done here in Apex Legends. I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
No, nothing from me. I mean, yeah, like Shane said, I understand why companies make the Battle Royale games or why and new companies come in wanting to capture the gold that Epic and the big four have captured. But I just wish they would come in and think of just something unique that's not a Battle Royale. We have enough of them. Let's go with something else. Let's try something else.
Cool. Yep. So I guess we're about to wrap this one up. We're going to give Russ the shovel so he can go ahead and bury that dead horse, for us that we've already uncovered and beat some more with the stick. He's going to rebury it for us. and with that, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let us know your thoughts on Battle Royale game. Do we have a lot of people listening that are Battle Royale fans? If so, what's your favorite, and why do you like that one over the others? And we hope to catch you in the next episode.
See ya.